Caitlin Clark is out injured right now, and it appears that we know, well, she's out injured with a groin injury, and it appears there is footage of how it happened.
Another game, another blatant cheap shot, and once again, the referees swallowed their whistles.
WNBA referees has been having issues. WNBA referees simply playing against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. This is another year and another case of WNBA referees not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark took a clear hit from a Seattle Storm player right in front of the official. No call, no concern, no consequences. That same play likely triggered the groin injury that's now sidelining her. If you think the WNBA referees are corrupt, then comment "Protect CC" down below. Let's go.
One of the worst missed calls I think I've ever seen in basketball.
And then when the refs don't call the bear hug,
obviously being fouled, the refs don't call it.
No whistle, no protection, no accountability. And let's not pretend this is anything new. It's become a recurring theme.
Caitlin Clark is the needle. Caitlin is boxed off.
Caitlin Clark is the star. Everything else is wrapped around her, and everything else is revolving around her.
She's Rookie of the Year in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is the star player of the WNBA.
The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
This isn't about just one foul. It's about a pattern. It's about how silence becomes complicity. The WNBA's blind eye is turning into a full-blown issue.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has suffered yet another hard foul, and the referees failed to make a call.
The WNBA is physical, and she just needs to get over it.
What went down in Seattle wasn't a random incident. It was the latest example in a long, frustrating trend of Caitlin Clark getting hammered with zero whistles to show for it.
And we have another situation where WNBA referees failed to make the right calls against Caitlin Clark and the Fever.
Let's rewind the tape. Game after game this season, Clark has taken more contact than a crash test dummy.
Why is that? New year, Caitlin Clark still getting assaulted though, bruh. Why is we back here?
And somehow, the officials just don't seem to notice?
For whatever reason, these referees made it their business to simply not make the calls.
From arm grabs and body slams to defenders swinging elbows like they're in a wrestling ring, she's endured it all. There's one viral clip from that Storm game where Clark drives hard to the rim and gets whacked across the torso. The referee? Right there. Watching. Still, nothing.
The referee's literally right there. Like, bro, you're right there.
Meanwhile, the Fever get flagged for breathing too hard. Sophie Cunningham picked up a foul for existing. Hands up, feet planted, nothing else. Then we saw more ticky-tack fouls. Bump, whistle, bump, whistle.
A foul on Sophie Cunningham for doing absolutely nothing. Dantas, just her hands in the air. Another foul, touch foul, touch foul, touch foul.
That's not just inconsistent officiating. That's bias in action. Fans have stepped up to expose it, with social media flooded by frame-by-frame clips showing Clark getting beat up while refs remain motionless. She gets no calls, while her opponents get bailed out for far less. And the problem isn't just with one official, it's baked into the system. Even head coach Stephanie White has voiced her frustrations, saying the team, and especially Caitlin, isn't getting a fair shake.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing.
So, where's the WNBA in all of this? Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, completely silent. Not a peep, no press conference, no post, no accountability.
Kathy has said nothing. She just refused to address this referee problem.
Let's be honest. The league is more than happy to ride the Caitlin Clark wave, sell out games, break viewership records, flood social media. But when she needs the league to have her back, they vanish. They want her face in promos, not her back protected on the floor. That's why Sophie Cunningham and others have stepped up. If the league won't defend Caitlin, her teammates will. This goes way beyond basketball. It's about the league sending a message, one that says, thanks for the ratings, but don't expect any protection.
No doubt, the Indiana Fever are dominating the WNBA rating.
Now, let's talk about that Seattle game, the one that reignited this firestorm. Sure, the Fever came out on top, 94-86, but the scoreboard only tells half the story. From the opening tip, Clark was hounded. Off the ball, she was held. On screens, she was grabbed. On drives, she was shoved. Not a single official had the guts to make a call. There's one moment early in the game where she gets hammered going up for a layup. Defender makes full body contact. Ref stares and lets it go.
Caitlin Clark has suffered yet another hard foul, and the referees failed to make a call.
This double standard isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. It signals to every other player that targeting Clark is fair game. And Seattle took full advantage. But this is why Caitlin Clark is different. Despite the punishment, despite being ignored, despite the injury risk, she didn't disappear. She led. Now, sure, the box score wasn't pretty. 6 points, 8 turnovers.
Caitlin Clark is definitely still in a shooting slump. She attempted 6 3-pointers, made none of them. She went 3 for 13 all night.
This is the first time in her career Caitlin Clark recorded more turnovers than points, bro. She had more turnovers than points for the first time in her whole basketball career.
But stats don't tell the whole story. Clark still dictated the offense. She still spaced the floor, found her teammates, and stayed composed under relentless pressure.
Her impact on the court was still extremely high. She did also have 9 assists, 3 steals, and 2 rebounds.
That composure helped secure the win. Players like Erica Wheeler, a former teammate, even checked in on Clark after she took a hard hit. That's respect. Something the referees clearly haven't shown her. Let's not forget Aaliyah Boston, who exploded for a career-high 31 points and 8 rebounds.
Aaliyah Boston put on a masterclass, hitting a career-high 31 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and she shot 72%.
Kelsey Mitchell lit it up for 26 points. Lexi Hull notched her first career double-double. But all of that happens because Caitlin Clark is on the floor, orchestrating. She didn't pad the stat sheet, but she pulled the strings.
If it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, this could have been the 3rd straight loss.
She didn't get the calls, but she got the win. She didn't get protected, but she protected the team. This is what critics and clueless refs don't see. Clark's greatness isn't limited to logo threes or highlight reel passes. It's in her poise, her toughness, and her ability to uplift a team even when everything's stacked against her. While the league ignored her, while refs turned their backs, she stood tall, ran the show, and walked away victorious.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Let's cut the nonsense. Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the WNBA boom. She is the boom. She is the reason casual fans are tuning in. Before her arrival, 300,000 viewers was considered a decent night. Now we're seeing primetime ratings that rival men's playoff games, all because of her. Need proof? Look at the numbers. Indiana Fever games are obliterating records. One matchup peaked at 2.2 million viewers and averaged 1.7 million. 3rd most watched regular season game in league history. ESPN's WNBA numbers, up 14%. ABC viewership, up 76%.
And it averaged 1.7 million views. It peaked at 2.2 million views. WNBA on ESPN regular season averaged 33% more than last year. And it was up 2025 NBA coverage across ESPN of 14% from last year. A victory, bro. ESPN made a bag on this one.
And if you've been keeping track, nearly every high-rated broadcast this season seems to share one unmistakable thread. Caitlin Clark is on the court. That's no coincidence, that's the Caitlin Clark phenomenon in full effect. Even sports giants like ESPN are openly acknowledging it now. She's not just a player, she's the headline, the entire storyline.
Now, this ain't because they played the Las Vegas Aces. No, this because Caitlin Clark was expected to ball out. Caitlin and them still doing big viewership numbers, still doing big-time votes when it comes to all-star games, still making their presence felt.
This isn't just hype, it's basic economics. When the Fever hit the road, ticket prices skyrocket, merchandise vanishes from shelves, and television ratings go through the roof. Yet, the league continues to turn a blind eye when it matters most. Sure, they're quick to share her highlight reels, capitalize on her jersey sales, and plaster her face all over sponsorships and promos. But when she's getting mauled on the floor, elbowed and shoved in plain sight with zero whistleblowing? Crickets. Not a word from WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. No statement, no accountability, nothing.
I don't care about the score. I'm watching because it's the FOMO that everyone is rushed to watch.
Now, ask yourself this. Would the NBA let this happen to Steph Curry? Would the NFL stand by while Patrick Mahomes gets crushed after the play with no flag thrown? Absolutely not, because those leagues get it. They know protecting their stars is protecting their business. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she is the brand. But in this league, it seems like they're perfectly content to squeeze every ounce of value out of her without offering the basic decency of fair treatment. No respect, no safety, not even impartial officiating. And while players like Sophie Cunningham are getting kudos for standing up for her, let's not pretend everyone is on board. Many players have been anything but supportive. Some are envious, dismissive, or outright aggressive, taking cheap shots because they know the refs will look the other way. One commentator summed it up perfectly. Sophie Cunningham's star moment came simply by standing next to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
Here's the hypocrisy. The entire WNBA is benefiting from the Caitlin Clark wave, but she's riding that wave alone. They want to bask in her spotlight, but won't take any responsibility for shielding her from the blows she's enduring. Instead, the expectation is that she'll do it all. Shoulder the pressure, endure the fouls, elevate the brand, boost TV numbers, fill arenas, and still lead her team to victory. And somehow, impossibly, she keeps doing just that. Even in games where her stat line isn't dazzling, 6 points, shots not falling, fouled repeatedly with no calls, she delivers. She lifts her teammates. She keeps the fever moving forward. She keeps the league moving forward.
It's the third most watched WNBA regular season game ever on ESPN.
But the question is, how long can she keep this up? How long can a 23-year-old sophomore keep propping up an entire professional league without even the basic courtesy of consistent officiating? It's not just a bad business model. It's unjust. It's wrong. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's golden ticket. She's already given them more than they ever expected. It's time for the league, for the referees, for the leadership to give something back. They can start with a whistle.
2.2 million views, man. Peaked at, average 1.7 million viewership. Ain't no team in the W still doing this, bro. Nobody's doing the numbers the Fever is doing.
And what's happening in Indiana? It's not just special, it's transformative. Yes, Clark had a rough shooting night against Seattle. 6 points, 8 turnovers, a lid on the rim. But even so, she bent the game to her will. She pulled defenders out of position, forced double teams, and carved open space for her teammates to thrive. She ended the night with 9 assists, 3 steals, and her off-ball movement created chaos for Seattle's defense. That floor generalship? It allowed Aaliyah Boston to explode for 31 points and dominate the paint like a future MVP. Kelsey Mitchell came alive again, putting up 26 points with 4 boards and 4 dimes, controlling the tempo.
Kelsey Pistol Mitchell was cooking. Kelsey Pistol Mitchell was cooking with fish grease. 8 of 14, 26 points. She shot 5 of 7 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
Kelsey Mitchell does. She brings it up the court, stops on a dime, shoots his 3-point jump shot.
And let's not forget Lexi Hull, who snagged her first career double-double. That's not coincidence. That's Clark's leadership showing up in real time. She didn't need to be the leading scorer. She was the conductor, setting the rhythm, reading the defense like a seasoned vet, and commanding the game. And the Fever? They looked like a new team. They looked confident. They believed again. That's what Clark gave them, even on a bad night. Even in a slump, she still sparked something special. If this is what Caitlin Clark can do when her shot isn't falling, just imagine what's coming when it does. Her off night turned into one of Indiana's most cohesive wins of the season. And that's what the critics and the silent league leaders still don't understand. Caitlin Clark's greatness isn't only measured in logo threes or viral passes. It's in her resilience, her vision, and her impact. Even when she's targeted, battered, and ignored by the officials, she still leads, still changes the game, still wins. So let's stop dancing around it. Caitlin Clark is being targeted, and the referees, they're watching and doing nothing. The league? Still quiet. Game after game, she eats contact, absorbs elbows and shoves, and still hauls the WNBA into national relevance on her back. She's not just a player, she's a movement. She's selling out arenas, lighting up viewership charts, and making women's basketball a cultural force. But if the WNBA wants to keep that momentum going, if they actually care about sustaining this moment, they need to do more than cash in on Caitlin Clark. They need to stand up for her. They need to protect her. They need to show her the same commitment she's shown them. If you think the WNBA referees are corrupt, then comment Protect CC down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.